he wins a second term, he wants to make
We're live.
fertilization free for families.
The IVF treatments are expensive. It's very hard for many people to do it and to get it. But I've been in favor of IVF right from the beginning.
Mr. Trump campaigning in Michigan had no details yet of how the plan would work or how much it would cost. Lawyers for the person accused of
Oh, so that's interesting. So X makes you get a premium account to be able to stream video to it.
Really?
Bastards.
They cite a mob mentality in the community.
It's your mic is picking.
New ABC News.
How about now?
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle. Unless
It's the
you use
studio.
ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes fun.
It's not muted from what I remember from before.
Well, mine could
Now I'm unmuted, so my mic's live on here. Usually like right in the middle is where I had it on the other one. Getting feedback off the video.
Slightly, yeah.
In November, lifting the championship trophy over their head, likely the team that paid the price.
Check, 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 check. You can't hear me at all. I can't hear you at all. I am muted.
Yeah, it's their mic.
some small school games to feature, some powerhouse small school games in that first week, and just kind of balance the schedule out and maybe put together a 2 or a 3 game slate. I think that would be real fun because I went down there last year and there was good energy. It was a good time. It was a good matchup of 2 football programs. I'm expecting the same on Saturday, but I know we've talked about this before. I think with the right teams, like a kickoff jamboree of some kind in that sort of a venue would be a really good thing that I think people would respond to.
Guys, this edition and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by State Farm agents Kevin Malloy in New Lenox and John Wright in Joliet. Like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
Guys, I've been told in a kind of roundabout way that they meaning Illinois State, they like hosting the game. I don't know how big of a deal they kind of want to make out of it. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That you obviously would have to bring in more workers. You would have to bring in, I think, a lot more than maybe they're willing to kind of sacrifice, if that makes sense, or spend extra money. I think, Steven, you know this as well as anyone. They're trying to watch nickels and dimes, and I think they love having the games. But honestly, I don't know how much they really want to put into it. So just a thought.
Yeah, I can see that argument, but it's one of those things when I look at it, I'm like, well, I'm not asking for 5 or 6 games. It's like we've already opened up the venue. We've already done all these other things. I mean, I think it would be something that would be interesting if everybody was willing.
You know me, I'm totally down. You know that. I'm more than willing to be there.
I'm always, you and me are the same way, Edge. If we have the opportunity to see 6 or 8 teams rather than 2 or 4, we're always going to pick the 6 or 8. So, that's just the way it goes.
Let's talk about a little project you and Shaw Media put together this offseason. And so far, pal, it's been a great success.
Yeah, I think that, the response has been really positive, and I'm happy to see that. I mean, I believe you're referring to the season preview magazine.
Yep.
But to be honest with you, it was kind of a little bit earlier of a collaboration on the preseason stuff that we were already doing. The packaging, I think, was really nice, and I think if you're a supporter of high school football in general, awful lot of information in there for you if that's what you're interested in doing. So we're happy about the way that it came out, and so far the response has been pretty positive to it. So hopefully it's something that can continue because, we like being able to package the product that we're doing and hopefully draw some interest, the other things that we're doing during the course of the high school football season. I think the product has only grown over I believe this is year 4 for Friday Night Drive as a general product. So we're expanding things and trying to do some different things. And it's nice to get some positive feedback on one of those things that we've tried out.
As far as the remainder of this weekend, obviously you're at Mount Carmel tonight. Did you say you're going to Lincoln East tomorrow? No, where you? You're doing your stream thing, right?
Yeah, that's another thing that we're doing. We're doing the live stream. It starts at 9:30 p.m. where we kind of recap all of the games and talk about the results that are coming up and preview the Saturday games a little bit. I'm joined this year by Matt Rodewald. Somebody that you guys might know from IHSA TV events and stuff like that. So we're just kind of breaking that thing down, and we're going to do that every week. And obviously, as the farther the season goes along, I start getting into playoff projection mode. We talk about how the results affect, the potential bracket as we're seeing the finals come in. So that was well received last year as well. We're hoping to we streamline the product a little bit, cut the time down a little bit, but in a way that I think is going to be a little bit more easy to digest from a participation standpoint. So looking forward to that. It's tough for me in one vein because it doesn't allow me to get out to live games on Friday. That just means I'll probably have to catch more games on Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, my friend, we'll let you go. I hope you're able to find your way out of the car. I think there's a few cops or firemen around there that might be able to help you.
The jaws of life.
Yeah, they might need the jaws of life. I'm not exactly the smallest guy in the history of the world either. So,
all right, buddy, enjoy yourself and Happy New Year.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right, Steve Soucy joining us to kick off the season, and we appreciate him joining us. And again, Joe, big game, obviously down at Mount Carmel, taking on not the Nun School, the Hunt School.
The Huns.
Yeah. So, big prep school out of Jersey. They're a big time program. So very interested to see how that one turns out. All right. We're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll go out to the phone lines. If you're a regular, if you want to call into the show, and by the way, if you're watching on the stream, please let us know you're getting audio. That would be wonderful. I think I got a little setup issue on my side as well, where I'm not able to see the DMs right now, but we're working through it. We'll get things rolling. You are listening to the Week 1 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports.
This is State Farm Agent John Wright. I'm a multiple-time winner of the Reader's Choice for one of the best insurance agents in the area. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect gift for your someone. It feels so good to make the right insurance decision too. The John Wright Insurance Agency is right here in Joliet to help you select the right protection at the right price. With me, State Farm Agent John Wright, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call me when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Got a problem with your car? Call in this Thursday just after 9 a.m. and get answers from the experts. Every Thursday, the experts from the service department at Darcy Buick GMC will honestly answer your questions about any vehicle, any make, any model. Plus, get helpful tips for keeping your car in great shape for every season. Listen to Car Talk this Thursday after the 9 a.m. news, brought to you by Darcy Buick GMC on Essington Road in Joliet and at darcymotors.com. Listen right here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports.
Tonight, shut off the video games, turn off the smartphones, and unplug the tablet.
What? Hey!
Because tonight, you're gonna take the family bowling.
I didn't know I could have this much fun without plugging something in.
Echo Lanes and Crossfire Laser Tag in Morris is committed to providing family-friendly fun at affordable prices. Every Tuesday is Quarter Mania. Bowling, shoes, and pop are just $0.25 each. Hot dogs are 50 cents, and so are fries after your $7.50 cover charge. Every Thursday, Laser Tag is $5 per session, and bowling is 2 games for $5.50. Come back on Sunday for open bowling all day long. Echo Lanes and Crossfire Laser Tag at the junction of Routes 47 and Route 6 in Morris. Open Tuesday through Friday at noon. Saturday and Sundays at 1 p.m. and closed on Monday. Fall leagues now forming and starting soon. Stop in or call.
Can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This is the famous footwear that makes us actually want to go back to school. With the newest styles from all your favorite brands, like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. You'll find everything kids want, all at prices parents can appreciate, because you don't have to overspend to make it famous.
Off when you shop your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Pigskin Preview with EDGYTIM on 1340 WJOL.
Look, how am I supposed to finish a cookie when I got a radio show to do?
You got to hurry up and eat it.
And who's dumb enough to bring in cookies when we have a radio show to do?
I was. My lovely bride, first night, made chocolate chip cookies
Well,
for you guys.
we need to thank both of the lovely brides for doubling up efforts. So we could
be in a chocolate coma by
all
8
kinds of
o'clock.
cookies here, all kinds of cookies there.
Yep.
It's a cookie exchange, Joe.
Yeah, just like Christmas.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is the Week 1 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. EDGYTIM here along with the coach, Joe Rodriguero. Our broadcast schedule is as follows, gentlemen. 6:05 Friday Night Lights with our good friend, Evan Bredesen, spinning the dials. The game of the week, Joe Rodriguero.
A little one.
It's a big game, and we'll get into this a little bit more in the 7 o'clock hour, but it is Maine South traveling to the east side to take on Lincoln Way East, two highly ranked teams. Not those jamokes know what they're doing. They don't. Should be a terrific ball game. Gentlemen, that is also my game of the week on Friday. So always looking forward to waving to both of you up in the palatial estates at Lincoln Way.
Yes.
While the rest of us are down on the field doing work. So that is the game of the week. Joe, I know you're excited about that one. We're going to go out to the phone lines. We're going to bring in our next guest. And Joe, I had a chance to see this gentleman and his team a couple of times this summer. I'm telling you, Plainfield North is going to have a good year. We're going to bring in Anthony Imbordino, the head coach of your Plainfield North Tigers. And Coach, thanks for taking time out and welcome to Pigskin Preview.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me and talking some Tiger football.
How has the week been with kind of the weird weather?
That was going to be my first question. Yes. How was the weather?
We couldn't practice on Monday or Tuesday, so we were inside. It went really well, surprisingly. Probably one of the better inside practices I had in my career. I think just kids were focused. They were ready to go. We did some walkthrough. We did kind of some, tagging off, and we got our whole practice plan done. We didn't adjust it. We said, let's just roll the dice and see how they do. And they did really well the 2 days, and we've been banging and practicing since June. So, it wasn't a huge deal week one.
Anthony, your schedule last year with your points, I know you guys had your fingers crossed and we talked in week 8 and 9 and you made the playoffs, and it goes to show that you're really not afraid to play anybody. And the point system came into play this year, and you're going up against Lockport again. And then you got that team out of Elmhurst called York. So you're not really backing away from anybody before you start your conference play.
No, not at all. I think, our kids, our coaches, our community at North, we want to be in the same breath as some of those teams that you just mentioned. And to do that, you got to schedule them and see where you add up. So, so that's what we did. We get out and try to find and schedule the best talent that's in 8A, and see how we stack up against them. And hopefully, we're in that breath eventually.
You have a really interesting kind of combination on your team this year of some kids that are coming back and have been on the program a couple of years now. A handful of new kids as well. Talk about a couple of those new kids, because I think they're going to probably play a pretty big role offensively, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. You and I talked about it in the summertime, and got to take a look at them. Malik Jassim was a transfer from us from Plainfield Central. And, he's a running back. He's a bruiser. He's about 6'1", 220. Doesn't say much, works his tail off, not afraid to lower his shoulder. So he looked really good in a couple of little scrimmages that we had over the summer. He's going to be a good piece to our offense, especially, with us running the ball as much as we do. And Justice Bird, a quarterback transfer from LaSalle, Peru. Won the job, has done real well. Big kid, another 6'1", 6'2", 200 and some odd pounds, can run the ball, very athletic. And we're looking forward to seeing it'll be his first start. Malik started as a sophomore at Plainfield Central, so he's got some varsity games under his belt. But JB this will be his first game tomorrow. So he's excited. We're excited. And those two are going to contribute quite a bit for us.
I know that there's is it Arishu? Is it the last name? I always mispronounce it.
Yeah, Asheru. Yeah.
And you have another emerging.
Yeah, our receiving core is exceptionally well this year. We feel really good about them. Another transfer last year from Matia Valley. If you're not familiar with North Plainfield, there's subdivisions going up left and right everywhere. So he started as a sophomore at Matia. Now he's a senior. He does exceptionally well at wide receiver. And then Darren Asheru was a brother of Demir, who was our quarterback, all-state quarterback a few years ago, who's at Ferris State now. He's a sophomore. We brought him up, in his body control and his hands. And, I think watching his brother play over the years and the way how to train and how to eat and how to do everything really paid off. So I think he's going to be an emerging wide receiver in the next few years.
Is this the most nerve-wracking week out of them all?
I think today is, right? You're trying to, especially starting on a road. I mean, before I left the locker room, you're trying to get all your stuff ready, everything charged up, and making sure you're not forgetting anything and making lists. And, even now at home, trying to, all right, I got to get my play cards ready and this laminated. And, the next 24 hours, that's kind of the most stressful part. Once you get out there, it's good, but you just don't want to forget a headset or something crazy like that. So
just like I did tonight. I got everything here, Anthony, except for my headset.
Everything but headphones.
Yes. Yeah. Anthony, you've got 15 guys returning. You got some quality guys transferring in. But again, I think you got 4 quality offensive line returning, probably by Dom Fasano, but you got guys that aren't small guys either. So I think that having 4 guys with varsity experience, and I don't know who else that 5th guy will be, but again, it's going to be helpful to the offense, to the key position players.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're returning 4 of our 5 O-linemen from last year. One started as a sophomore last year, now as a junior. Probably one of our more talented guys, and they all run about 6'2", 6'3", over 250. And then we're starting a junior at guard. So, having that experience is priceless, especially at the varsity level. I think starting so many juniors last year, especially against Lockport, those lights were really bright for them the first quarter or two because they wanted to do such a good job and they were so excited, and they kind of freak out a little bit. So much more calmer. You could tell during 7-on-7s, and when we scrimmage other teams in the summer, they understand the scheme and what they want, the expectations from their coaches. So and the O-line especially, if you get those guys going with their size in the back and the quarterback, we're excited about it.
As far as the conference is concerned, and obviously I know you got a couple of games to worry about before you get to that point, but I mean, as well as anyone, it's about as good and as well balanced as you can ask for. Is that pretty fair?
As far as the SBC West, or
just your side, because I mean, I'm looking at teams again this year, and I'm just thinking, Oswego's going to be better. He brings back a bunch of experience. Minooka's Minooka. Oswego East has always got talent, and it's just like it's the same thing. You're going to have a lot of 1 score game differences, and it's going to come down, and it's going to be crunch time, and you're going to have a 14-10 or a 14-13 final. And I mean, I don't think you could ask for much more, honestly.
Yeah, it's really fun. Adding Bolingbrook, there's just like no breathing room, right? Like you're going in the buzzsaw, but I think every team in our conference is better for it come playoff time. Yeah. And obviously we're all rooting for each other, after week 9 and wanting to see some success. Yorkville's had tons of success in 7A, them going against all 8A schools and then them dropping down. I mean, that's a tough schedule for them too, but you're right. There's a lot of different varieties and speed and power and defense and offense. And it's a grind and it's a bear. And, we're looking forward to it. We're excited to get Bolingbrook in and kind of, see how we match up against, the type of athletes that they have over there. So, it's a lot tougher than it was. It seemed like every 4 years the SEC changes, and coming from like a closed conference 10 years ago or something, and then kind of changing and evolving. This is definitely the toughest schedule I think that I've seen as a coach and player.
It's interesting. Earlier you mentioned the growth in the north end of Plainfield, and Anthony, I drive out west all the time. I take back roads and wind up if I have to go to DeKalb or what have you. And the one thing I always think, I start obviously in Shanahan and take River Road up, and I'm just looking around and thinking, wow, just wait, Joe, till the economy really starts coming back. And like Minooka, for example, they have all that land on the other side of Ridge Road,
right?
That is all subdivisions that once those babies start firing up, and as Anthony mentioned, the north part of Plainfield, they're building already and starting to fill up. I'm telling you guys, that is going to grow and develop even into a bigger and probably even harder conference. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming in a couple, 2-3 years. You're going to start really noticing the difference, and I think we're going to see those enrollments change as well.
Absolutely. I think, Yorkville's another one that, if you go out west from us, I mean, there's just so much land. And then you said Manuka and the Oswego's are, they're getting those two. I mean, their enrollments are crazy high now for both schools. So, yeah, we're going to get a conference of some real big schools, which is going to be fun in the future.
Yep. Hey, one more thing before we let you go, pal. And again, it's always great to talk to you. You mentioned the summer. Did you do an actual scrimmage game, or did you just kind of focus more on practicing against other teams?
We practice with I think 3 or 4 teams, and you have a controlled team time.
Right.
That the IHSA allows. I like that better than 0, just because of how close it is to week 1, and it's a little bit more controlled. And we got approached by a couple for week 0, and we were intrigued by some, but we want your kids this is as healthy as they're going to be all year.
Yeah.
So, there's some validity in that, but yeah, we did a lot of controlled team segments where, I could go across the sideline and, hey, can we get 5 more in the red zone? And yeah, sure, coach. And we like those a little bit more. And plus it gives a little bit more resting time. If someone does get hurt or we had a couple kids that needed some knee surgeries that'll bounce back by week 2, if that happened later in the year, they might not be back till mid-season. So, it's more controlled.
Is that something as far as the week 0 goes? And again, a lot of coaches that we talked to mentioned it, and everyone seemed to have a different opinion. But it was interesting because, Coach, a large majority of them agreed with you and just decided to really focus on the more controlled scrimmages as opposed to week 0. If they loosened up those time restraints, you think that might have a little bit more success with it, or maybe not so much?
Well, I think it's, it depends on where your team's at. If you have a younger team, then there's a lot of validity in scheduling that week 0. If you have a more, for us, we're returning quite a bit, so we didn't really need it. And not to say we didn't need to get better, but we wanted to focus more on, getting them healthy versus maybe last year we probably would have maybe jumped into one. Same thing if you have a new quarterback, we'll schedule more scrimmages and 7-on-7s in the summer just to get them ready and prepared and feel a little bit more comfortable. So the restrictions wasn't really a thing for us. It was more of, I don't want to say player safety, but keeping them fresh for week 1.
Yeah, totally understandable. My friend, best of luck. Of course, you are on the road taking on Lockport at Lockport. Again, best of luck, Anthony, and go get them, okay?
I appreciate you guys. Go Tigers.
All right.
Good luck, Anthony.
Go Tigers, and we appreciate Anthony Imbordino joining us. Joe, it seems that I don't know if week 0 is really going to fly.
A lot of the coaches last week, and again, we had our coaches show, as everybody knows, and we thank them for coming. It was a great time. A lot of them really said if it was a scrimmage at the end of July, that last week where you could get together, they would be kind of more for that. But, the more I listened to the coaches last week and listened to Anthony tonight is the fact that I don't blame them. I would not want to get anybody hurt, even though it's a controlled, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yep. Again, we appreciate him joining us. Joe, by the way, if you're out there, you want to call and join the show, we'd love to hear from you, 815-254-7300. But you know what? You might want to hold off a few minutes because we're going to be up against a break here in a minute. As soon as we come back from the 6:40 break, we are opening the phone lines. For the next 2 segments, we're going to have open phones. So by all means, we want to hear from you regulars. As far as the schedule this week, we're going to go through it. We'll go through all the games in the area. And again, love to get your feedback. Joe's working the DM. So if you got anything nasty to say online, Joe's the guy.
I have a comment here. Don't worry, Jen. You didn't have to send cookies this week. You got 12 more weeks to woo us. You got 12 more weeks, kid.
Hey, Jen's taking care of us here on Friday nights and stuff. So you don't need to send in no cookies. It's all good, Jen. So, all right, we're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we are going to open up those phone lines. God help us all. We'll hear from you. We hope you're all still alive, Joe. I think that's kind of what we hope for.
That's, I check Herald News obituaries almost every day, so I think a lot of them are still out there.
We're not quite your friends over 60, but boy, we're starting to bang on that door. We'll be back. You're listening to the Week 1 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
Detoxed your body? If you're like most people, the answer is probably never. If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, headaches, bloating, and skin irritation, then those are all telltale signs. So how do you detox your body? Well, you can add saunas or juice fasts, but what you really need is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active easy to help your liver detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or Meijer or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Summer congestion got you down? Whether it's allergies or a summer cold, being congested can change your whole day. You feel tired and run down like you're missing out on summer fun. At Navage, we're here to make breathing easy, easier. Navage uses patented gentle suction technology to help clear out allergens, mucus, dust, and germs without drugs. In as fast as 30 seconds, you'll be on your way to a better day. Look for Navage in brand new packaging. Navage, fresh new look, same great product.
Lowe's knows Labor Day calls for big savings. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save up to $750 when you buy 2 or more select major appliances priced $396 or more. And My Lowe's Rewards members get 3 bags of premium cubic foot color mulch for just $10. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Free yourself of the burdens of home maintenance and embrace the carefree lifestyle that comes with retirement living at Our Lady of Angels Village in Joliet. These ranch cottages are a charming alternative to condo life, giving you 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, and an attached garage plus your own personal outdoor spaces. View floor plans online at olavillage.org. Professional interior and exterior home maintenance and housekeeping services are included too. Schedule your tour today. Call 815-729-3793 or visit olavillage.org.
Team Demolition Derby returns for one night only. This Saturday night in the Dirt Oval at Route 66 in Joliet. Featuring a full night of total destruction with Team Demolition Derby, full-size and compact Demolition Derby, Dirty O's spectator racing, and the greatest fireworks finish around. Gates open at 4 p.m. Race time at 7 p.m. This Saturday night at the Dirt Oval at Route 66, Route 53 in Schweitzer, Joliet. Get your tickets now at dirtoval66.com. That's dirtoval66.com.
A part of our community's rich tradition, St. Peter Evangelical Lutheran Church at 310 North Broadway Street in Joliet has been sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ for over 165 years and has the nation's longest-running continuous Sunday morning broadcast beginning in 1926. Reverend David Totsky, pastor of St. Peter's, invites you to join them in worship every Sunday for their divine service in person at 9 a.m. or on their radio broadcast at 11 a.m. here on 1340 WJOL.
Pigskin Preview with Edgy and Rod on 1340 WJOL, WJOL.com, and on Alexa.
And welcome back. Edgy Tim, along with the coach, Joe Rodagaro. Joe, you all right over there?
I'm trying.
We had to make it was like a hockey line change. We had to make a quick camera change here so Joe can get in and everyone can see that smiling face. Welcome back, everybody.
I don't know if they want to, but
we are going to open up the phone lines, 815-254-7300. And, of course, also joining us in the studio is our esteemed producer, Evan Bredesen. And, guys, let's go through some week 1 games. You want to call us, 815-254-7300. We'd love to hear from you on the phone. I do not seem to have DM capability. That's something I'm going to have to look into for next week. But hey, go old school. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. Joe,
Yes, sir.
Let's go through the schedule, and Evan would like to get your input on this as well. Bradley at Plainfield East. Don't know what to expect from the Bengals, to be honest.
Right. And if this game was reversed, I'd be picking Bradley. I still may pick Bradley here. You're right. You just don't know what East has and how they're going to week one.
Yeah, I again, we had Harvey at the coach's show, had a really good talk. He's feeling positive about his team. Bradley's they're just good, Joe.
They're Bradley.
They're Bradley, yeah. I mean, again, it's you're certainly benefiting by getting them on the road a little. Certainly, I think hurts or doesn't hurt them, but it doesn't help them.
Right.
But they're really good, and we'll see what happens. Joe and Evan, this next game, I'm going to tell you what. This is a sleeper, kind of a really good matchup, at least maybe early. Chicago Hope Academy making the trip down to Wilmington to take on the Wildcats. Joe?
You know, again, it's a contrast to two offenses for sure. Jeff was there last week. I'm picking Wilmington because they're playing at home.
And you live here.
Plus the fact that I don't know how many times Hope has ever seen an offense like that.
Yeah.
And it's hard to prepare for.
Well, they've had a whole off season.
Yeah, but until you, again, I don't care what you say.
I know.
Until you get down there in the trenches and play those guys, you don't know what's going to happen.
They played at Lena Winslow in the playoffs. Just saying.
Well,
just saying, Coach Joe.
But
it should be an interesting ball game. Definitely. And again, I think for Wilmington's benefit, I'd rather play this game week 1 than week 13.
Right.
14. It'll be interesting. Phone lines. Bob. Well. Our friend Bob joined us. Hello, Bob.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Doing well, my friend. How are you?
Hanging in there.
Attaboy. So what's on tap for tomorrow, Bob?
Oh, we'll probably make some brats and that to start off the year.
It's going to be a little toasty out there, though. You know, don't get too close to that fire, please.
Yeah, it was kind of warm out there today.
It sure was. I'll agree with you there.
I agree. I was cutting grass today. It was not fun, Bob.
Oh, I know. I did mine, too, to be done with it.
Yep. So your thoughts going into 2024?
I think they'll be all right. I was up in practice tonight and watched them. They ain't looking too bad.
You got a lot coming back. I think that's a real positive. Joe, would you agree with that?
I definitely agree with that. The only X factor right now, and as the season progresses, he's going to get a lot better because I know him personally with his work ethic is Mr. Simulake, a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm excited about him. I really am. I think he's going to have a good year, and as you mentioned, he's going to get better as things move along. And and then Keegan Farnes is part of that group of running backs, and I thought he showed some real flashes last year, Joe, and he could have a big year this year.
Keegan's a great kid too. Both those guys, baseball players, with some more baseball players on the team, but those two guys, very hard workers, and it's going to be interesting to see.
It helps a little bit having those non-baseball players up front blocking for you as well. And you got 4 of those back from last year.
Yes, that's true.
I know we know you love your baseball players, Joe, but you got to show a little love to those non-football or baseball players.
Yes, and they're big.
They are.
They're big.
And Jaws likes his team. You could tell.
He does, yes.
You can tell by the way he was talking to us at the coaches show. Feels really good. I think he's got a good feel for this team. But again, guys, the one thing we always have to preface, the schedule is no joke.
No, not at all.
Oh, it's for real.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think you're okay tomorrow against Iowa City.
I do too.
They once again have some recruitable kids. They've got some Division I kids, but again, I just think Joliet Catholic is something they just do not see in Iowa.
No.
Yeah.
What's on the menu tomorrow? Are you starting out kind of light? Start the year out?
We do brats and hot dogs, probably. Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh.
All right, my friend. We will talk to you
Bob.
every week. Great
Good
to hear
talking
from
to
you.
Yes.
You guys have a good night.
You too. All right. Always great to hear from our friend Bob and another regular joining us, Joe. And we love to hear from our regulars. It's our friend Greg and Tinley. Hello, Greg.
Greg.
Hey, good to hear you guys again. I caught your show last week. got me all fired up. I'll tell you.
Good. Yeah, it was a blast. We want to thank Double J Sports Bar for
Yes.
having us out, and Kevin Malloy and John Wright for sponsoring us and coming out, and just a lot of the coaches and some fans and our family. My family's always there. They're always causing trouble in the middle of the room. So great to have everyone out. And Greg, kind of, what are your thoughts? You know what game we're going to tomorrow, right? We're all in Lincoln Way East tomorrow. Oh, did we lose him? Greg? Greg, you there?
Yeah, this is Greg from Tinley.
Yeah, we got you, Greg. You must have
dropped.
Yeah, Greg, you're good. You must have dropped off, so we just put you back on.
Okay, thanks, buddy.
So
yeah, like I said, last week got me fired up. What do you guys got?
we're gonna go. I'm gonna cover, and then the station is also covering Maine South at Lincoln Way East, so can't miss that one.
Oh yeah, I'll be out there too. That's my neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And that's a good game. Make sure you tune in about 7:25. We'll have Dave and Sarah from Maine South and give you an idea what to expect from the Hawks. But tell you what, I don't want to ruin it ahead of time. But Greg, they're going to be pretty stacked this year, Maine South.
Oh, you know what? I know Maine South beat Lincoln Way East. It's got to be probably about 5-6 years ago.
Yep.
I came away nothing but impressed with them.
Yeah.
I mean, the preparation before the game, and you could tell those guys knew exactly what they were doing. It was a heck of a game. Went down to the last minute, but I mean, it was something to see. I really respect Maine South, no doubt.
Well, this will tell you how good they are, Coach and Greg. Their starting quarterback doesn't have like 15 scholarship offers. Their backup does.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you how good they are this year.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's wild.
Well,
Well, I'm
good.
looking forward to it,
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
We are too.
Hey,
yeah, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I got something else I just want to throw in real quick. I was on a high school football team 60 years ago that won the Southwest Suburban Conference and went undefeated. Evergreen Park. I don't think they've done anything like that since.
No.
But we took on all the heavyweights that
I
year.
was going to
Homewood,
say,
Flossmoor,
yeah.
Sandburg. Oh, yeah, it was a stacked conference. I mean, a couple of years before, Sandburg had Ernie Sharp. He was an All-American halfback. And it was just a loaded conference, and nobody thought Evergreen Park would win anything. We did it. We had 5 guys that went to Division I. So that's how stacked we were that year. I just want to give that shout out.
Was it hard going to road games in the covered wagons, or were you able to kind of get there?
I usually get that, Greg.
127th and Ridgeland was a 2-lane blacktop.
Oh,
at
yeah.
that time.
No, I'm sure. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about it. All right, Greg, I had to give you a
And
little bit of
Lincoln Way-
grief.
Lincoln Way was the smallest school in the conference at that time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the population hadn't moved out there. But those are great memories, and I still talk to those guys.
It's awesome.
And
That's
it's
good.
It's lasted all these years. It's great.
It's Greg. It's the beauty of high school football. I mean, everyone up and down, no matter what age group, they can all relate, and everyone in one way or another, you keep some kind of loyalty and connection into a team. So it's amazing.
Oh yeah. Hey, like I say, I still get fired up going out to the games today.
Very
Same here.
good.
It's, you know,
ready too.
No doubt.
it's a great thing.
All right, Greg. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
All right, Greg. Take care.
That's
Thank
right,
you.
guys. We'll talk to you. Bye-bye.
All right. We appreciate Greg joining us. And again, we got a few minutes left here. 815-254-7300. And of course, we can't have one Bob without the other Bob.
That's right.
Hello, other Bob.
Hello, fellas. How are you?
We're doing fine. How are you?
Good. Welcome back for another year.
We are back. We're glad to be back. And again, it doesn't feel like football until we hear from you guys. So now it feels like football.
You know, Bob, I was in the parking lot last week, and some guy came up to me and said, "Hey, would you like a schedule?" And I figured it was a pocket schedule. I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll take a schedule."
Well, you got to have big pockets to fit this one.
I don't have pockets big enough for that poster. That's for sure. But I wish more teams would do that, though. I mean, I really enjoy the Joliet Catholic Hilltoppers, their thing that they can put up, and that's how it's been for a long time.
This is the best I've ever looked on the show. Stop laughing, Evan.
But yes.
One nice thing with those posters too, you see them all over town.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt. It's great.
Yep.
It's kind of a throwback thing, but
It is.
But as you all know, other Bob, people love them.
Yep.
Well, that's why they get done.
Yep. For sure.
Hey, speaking of getting things done, I want to compliment WJOL.
Okay.
In spite of some of the troubles they're having over there,
Mm-hmm.
I did notice that the week, I think it's October 4th. Do you know what game you're broadcasting?
I do not have the full schedule in front of me. Yeah.
I believe it's the Hilltoppers at Notre Dame.
Okay.
Yes, it is. I'm
First
looking.
time in a long time I remember WJOL taking the show on the road.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we do get out sometimes, and again, it's a mishmash of factors. Other Bob, you know that it's trying to get to the best game. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt we're doing the best game this week. Do you?
Oh, I'm not complaining about that at all.
Right. But
I just
no,
think
we'll
it's
take the
nice
compliment
when
where
they
we can
do a
get
road
it.
game
We'll take
now.
it.
Not bad for an old lady that's going to be 100 in a year. I think the station's still doing okay.
Yes.
Still doing okay. I know I tune in every morning to this
Oh,
day.
we appreciate all they do for the community.
Yeah,
for sure.
No doubt about it. All right, other Bob. Look forward to talking to you all season long.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, Bob.
All
Take
right,
care.
other Bob joining us. We appreciate that. And yeah, almost 100 years. And Joe, you've been here, 70 of those? So
I'm 70 years old. A couple weeks ago.
you were listening out of birth.
in my crib.
Out of birth. Was that like the old-fashioned radio? Well,
that was the one that was.
I got to
like,
be careful this year because it's going to be a bad
year.
year.
Wait, yeah, yours is
Just
coming up,
shush over
pal.
there. It's going to be a bad year.
Yours is coming up.
It's going to be a bad year. Not really, but so again, so we broke down one game so far. All right, we're at our week one roll. We got about a minute and a half, guys. Let's go through this a little bit. We mentioned Bradley and Plainfield East and Chicago Hope at Wilmington. The battle, the Hatfield and the McCoys, Coal City, Joe, at Morris.
Talking to both coaches, they're excited about the season, and I just think Morris has got too much for them.
Yeah,
Morris is going to be good again this year, and as Alan mentioned last week, the loss to Joliet Catholic, and they're ready to start playing again.
And also, it sounded like this is going to be the last year for a while.
Yes.
So it's going to go away for a little bit. And, I know the fans want it. I know the fans still get fired up about it. But, it's one of those where you get conferences changing and other factors involved. And I'm sure they will definitely try to bring it back in one form or another, I'm sure.
Yes.
No doubt about it. El Paso Gridley at Reed Custer. We had Gavin Johnston on the coaches show, Joe. I think Gavin is still trying to probably figure out where this team is at and where they're headed right now. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think so. Last year was a little bit tough, but again, they lost a lot of close games last year. And again, they did not make it to the playoffs. I don't know how good El Paso Gridley will be, but
generally a pretty solid team.
They've got Reed Custer's got some, and Gavin's got guys coming back. So I'm going to pick them tomorrow night.
All right, we're going to have to step aside and break for ABC News. By all means, don't go anywhere. 7 o'clock hour. Well, it's when the magic happens. Dave and Sarah will be here from Maine South. We'll also have open phone lines. We'd love to hear from you. So don't go anywhere. You're listening to 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports.
The Ramsey Show.
Right now, my wife and I, we're scared.
I've been where you are, and I remember how it feels to have your stomach in your throat, and I know how terrified my wife was. Number one cause of divorce in North America today, money stress. So you guys have to look at each other, take her hands in your hands, give her a big hug, and go, okay, we're doing this together, and we're not going to let this take our marriage. And as a matter of fact, it's going to make our marriage stronger. And hold on tight.
Dave Ramsey's new time is 1 to 3 weekdays on WJOL.
Will County's News Talk Sports, 1340.
WJOL.
This
Get it, but I've been in favor of IVF right from the beginning.
No details of how his plan would work or the cost. In her first sit-down interview since becoming the Democratic nominee for president, Vice President Harris was asked about her changes in policies. She says her values have not changed.
I have always believed, and I've worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time.
Harris interviewed on CNN, investigating the body of a worker at her office desk. Police in Tempe, Arizona.
Denise Prudhomme scanned into work at a Wells Fargo building on a Friday this month, and it wasn't until the next Tuesday that police were called because her body had been found. Local reports say nobody noticed. She was dead at her desk in her cubicle, and workers smelled a foul odor and then found her, and security called police. Tempe police say she never scanned out after that 7 a.m. Friday entry scan. The cause of death is unknown, but there were no signs of foul play. Police say the investigation is ongoing. Alex Stone, ABC News.
2 men charged in the killing of former General Hospital actor Johnny Walker today pleaded not guilty in a Los Angeles court. New FBI watchdog report criticizes the agency's handling of child sexual abuse allegations. In a video on YouTube, Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz.
It's critically important that the FBI appropriately handle all allegations of hands-on sex offenses against children, because failure to do so can result in children continuing to be abused and perpetrators abusing more children.
You're listening to ABC News.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Keeping the lines of communication open.
President Biden's National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan wrapped up his trip to Beijing meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Xi told Sullivan that the U.S. and China should strive for cooperation instead of division and confrontation, and that Beijing was committed to stable ties. Sullivan characterized the meetings over the past few days as candid and substantive.
ABC's Carson Yu in Hong Kong. President Biden and President Xi expected to have a phone call soon. An unqualified failure. That's what scientists are calling a baby's polio case in Gaza. They say the infant was infected with a mutated strain of the virus that vaccinated people shed in their waste.
Israel says it will pause the fighting in specific locations in Gaza so the UN can administer polio vaccines to children. The Prime Minister's office did not provide more details, but the limited pauses in IDF combat expected to begin as early as next week. The UN says over 600,000 children need the polio vaccine. A 10-month-old baby already paralyzed after catching the virus from war-damaged water and sewage systems. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
Shares of Dollar General plummeted almost 30% on Wall Street after the discount chain cut its earnings forecast. Track cyclist Carolyn Groot, the Netherlands, won the first gold medal of the Paralympic Games. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
And it begins. Who will be there in November lifting a championship trophy over their heads? Likely the team that paid the price through detailed preparation. For 6 straight years, the Malloy State Farm team has lifted the Best of Will County trophy because we paid the price through a detailed review process done on a weekly basis for each customer. When was the last time you heard from your insurance person? Maybe call the Malloy State Farm team at 815-463-5800 for your personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, the Malloy team is there.
Hey, race fans, this weekend at the Grundy County Speedway, it's a triple header of racing. Friday night, it's giveaway time with Fan Appreciation Night and On the Track Autograph Party. Saturday is the Grundy County Speedway Hall of Fame ceremony and the Fall Brawl 200 Enduro. Come back Sunday for 7 divisions of racing with a website at GrundySpeedway.com. The Grundy County Speedway, Route 47, just north of I-80 in Lawrence, where all kids 11 and under get in free. GrundySpeedway.com.
They're back. What? Caramel apples are back at Dan's Homemade Candies? They are indeed. You mean that mouth-watering, sweet, delicious, hand-dipped fresh caramel apple from Dan's Homemade Candies? They're there? Like right now?
Yep, all the varieties of caramel apples that start with a crisp, juicy, farm fresh apple dipped in Dan's smooth, creamy homemade caramel made fresh daily right there in the store.
Let's go! Should I get the original caramel? Covered or with nuts or both?
I'm going for the dark chocolate in the biggest, fattest caramel dripping apple you've ever seen.
Dan's Homemade Candies, here we come.
Dan's Homemade Candies are only here for a limited time at 1003 Plainfield Road in Joliet and in downtown Joliet at 229 East Cass Street. Online at danshomemadecandies.com.
School is back in session and summer fun is winding down. Light Source Lighting knows we're all spending a little more time indoors. At Light Source, you'll find all of the season's latest and greatest Hinckley lighting designs. Enjoy the quality, style, and durability. Doing homework or entertaining indoors can be stylish, comfortable, and inviting after you see our huge in-store selection of Hinckley products. Touch them, use them, see them in comparison to other brands, and imagine them in your home today, lighting the way into this exciting time and beyond. Our designers will give you a personal tour of all of our Hinckley lighting choices. Yes, the new season is here, so put the new glow in your home today. Browse Light Source Lighting with a friend. Come on your lunch hour or after work. Visit our 2 convenient locations in Plainfield and Plano. And check us out at lightsourcelighting.com before your shopping visit. Light Source Lighting, a showroom you simply must see.
Pigskin Preview with Edgy and Rod on 1340 WJOL, WJOL.com, and on Alexa.
And welcome back. It is our number 2 of the world's greatest high school football talk show ever. Okay, I don't know that. I don't even know if we're the best show, high school talk show in Joliet on Thursdays. I don't know, Joe. I'm sure there's others.
If there is, I don't know about them. So we can
claim
make
it.
that statement. Yeah,
we'll claim it. Welcome back. Hour number 2. We have all kinds of fun stuff for you. It's safe to say hello, everyone listening to us on air, on video stream, over on YouTube and Facebook. Little problem with X. X is being a little temperamental. So we'll have to get that figured out.
Well, Elon wants to charge you for everything.
Elon wants to charge for everything.
He wants a cut of everything.
Yep. And if you notice, I have not paid for it and kind of don't plan to either. So we'll make do. But again, welcome everybody.
Pay for something to make me that unhappy. I'm already, a Nebraska fan. I don't need to deal with that.
We won't even talk about baseball. We won't even go there.
What is it? 104 losses?
I lost track. Welcome back. This is hour number 2 of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. This edition and every edition of Pigskin Preview brought to you by State Farm agents John Wright in Joliet and Kevin Malloy in New Lenox, like a good neighbor, Joe.
State Farm is there.
We'd like to thank Kevin Malloy for hooking us up with some new gear.
Yeah,
of course, Joe, being the apple polisher that he is, wearing his immediately. And look, Denise, I got a new church shirt. So there we go. Nice collared shirt.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to wear that. I guess, Evan, you're not good enough. So
all right, Kevin, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kevin will get one.
I'm sure he's having one dug up for you right now, so I'm sure you'll get that. But again, welcome back, everybody. Great to have you. Our broadcast schedule is as follows. Tomorrow evening, 6:05, Friday Night Lights, Evan Bredesen, and will Tony be with us as well?
Yes, Tony's going to make his debut for
Excellent.
week 1 of the show, and we were doing some texting back and forth earlier, and he asked me, and it was just wonderful. My wife and I were just like, "Oh, that's so beautiful."
Cute, cute.
He texted me. He's like, "Hey, do you think if we text Edgy Tim, there's any chance he'd come on and talk with us?" I'm like, you know what? I'll cash in some favors and see what I can do.
Got to talk to my people before that ever happens. So
I think I'm on the spam list now. My emails just go right into the spam folder.
Nice. So yeah, that'll be 6:05, and then kickoff is 7:30. A little different this year, gentlemen.
Yeah, it is.
They're going back. They're going back to
Why?
the 7:30 kick. I think the 6 was just too early. Too early for people to get home from work, to rush out to get to a game. And let's face it, they're always crowded at Lincoln Way East, so there's always a crowd. So you have to deal with that.
I liked it.
I think we did too. The media certainly liked it, but I think this works out best for the community. Going to be packed regardless. The sophomore game, it'll be packed. It'll be packed for everything.
And no matter what time I get there, I'll be parking on the west side of the school.
Yep. I got my special place where I go park.
You're special.
Oh, wow. No, I just been going there way too long. So, so I will be covering the game as well. So again, that's a 7:30 kickoff tomorrow night. Joe Rodriguero, Dave Dwyer on the call. I will be there covering as well. So I'm looking forward to see all my friends tomorrow night. Preseason poll, WJOL EDGYTIM Big Five. You can get that every Monday morning with Slocum in the morning. Lincoln Way East at 1, Joliet Catholic 2, Providence at 3, Minooka 4, Lincoln Way West 5. Joe, who could you make an argument for to be in the 5 that might not be in?
Maybe Wilmington.
It's not a bad one. They're always right there.
Right there.
I even thought Lincoln Way Central
Yes.
a little bit. What a heck of a year Dave Woodburn last year.
Our
Should be
coach of the
good
year,
again
yeah.
this year too.
Yep. Yeah, they should be.
Yep. All right. We've got open phone lines, 815-254-7300. If you want to call in, talk about anything high school football related, we're here for you. Give us a call. We're going to go through now and kind of preview some of the games in the area. Talk about any games really across the state. That's what we're here for. It's what we like to do. You can watch us live, watch the live stream. Took us a little while to get going tonight, but we finally got it all figured out. So we should be good to go the rest of the year. So you can watch that. Just go to Edgy Channel on YouTube and make sure you click the subscribe button. And you can watch all of my stuff there this year. Third and Lang, the ever popular small school podcast.
Matt, yep.
Between the Lines with Mike Clark, and this goofy show as well. A video from all three. You can find them there for free every week. So just make sure to go to Edgy Tim Channel. I think it's just Edgy Channel. And like it, and you can watch us every week, or also off my Facebook page as well. Guys, let's continue. Homewood Flossmoor at Bolingbrook. Joe, we've tried to we've reached out to Tikas Pettigrew. I've left messages. I've sent text, and we are still going to try to connect with him because I want to talk about some Bolingbrook Raiders. Your thoughts going into this? I know that Homewood Flossmoor and the Vikings have a lot coming back this year. They've got about 17, 18 returning starters. Bolingbrook, I'm just not sure.
You just don't know what they have. Of course, they lost their quarterback. But again, I'm picking Homewood Flossmoor here. Just the way things kind of went last year at Bolingbrook, it might take a year or two to get that ship right again.
Yeah, so we'll see. But we will continue to try to talk to get Tikas Pettigrew on the show and talk a little bit about the Raiders this season. Iowa City making the trip down 80, coming in to take on Joliet Catholic Academy tomorrow night, Joe.
Yes, I'm of course picking the Hilltoppers here. Again, they handled them pretty easy last year, and with all that strength coming back on the defensive lines, and again they made it to the state championship and lost to Nazareth, and I think they'll be ready to go this year again. And I just think they're just going to be too strong for the Iowa team tomorrow night.
Gentlemen, is this the week our friend Thomas Hart and the Joliet Central Steel Dudes get win number 1 at Stag? Gentlemen, thoughts?
Well, talking to Coach Hart, I'm going to pick Joliet Central. But talking to Coach Hart, they have more guys out. And I mentioned to him, and you and I saw them play a couple times, Edge, and they would be in games till halftime or maybe middle of the third quarter.
Yep.
And they just did not have enough people.
Enough horses, yeah.
Not enough. And they've got a few quality players on that team that could conceivably play at the next level in college.
Yeah, with Joe, I mean, you and I did the Joliet West game when it was last year or a couple years ago, and they were in that game, I think, leading at one point, and it was halfway through the third quarter, but, then they ended up losing by quite a bit, and as you pointed out, 10 of the 11 guys were playing both ways the whole game,
and it was hot that day, too.
And it was hot, and it was just, that's good to catch up to you, so that was encouraging, and I heard that there were a lot more players coming out and kids coming out or staying, making it through camp, because sometimes that's a problem, and that was really encouraging to hear.
And when his team last year, Coach Hart's team last year, was mainly sophomores and juniors. He has a lot of guys coming back to play this year. So they're going to get one, Edge. Hopefully it's this week, but we'll see. But they're going to get one.
We go out to the phone lines, being joined by Kevin from Bolingbrook. Kevin, good evening. Thanks for joining us from Bolingbrook.
Hey, this is Kevin from New Lenox, and I feel somewhat disappointed. Why would I want to disrespect Evan, the smartest of the three of you? Why? What would be my benefit there?
Well, that's not exactly like a hurdle competition, so you can take that either way you want, Evan.
I'll stick away from the politically correct that Joe knows I normally use in this situation. But Ed, my apologies. How could I say
will you stop?
Like you?
Will you stop? We're just teasing
I just need
you.
Evan, I need what size? I'll have that thing at FedEx to you by 6 o'clock tonight. What's the 7?
Evan just walked away. He doesn't want to.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
want to talk.
He's so disappointed.
I know. That's why. Don't make me get him a triple XL, because I know that would be a 10.
Well, him and his wife could bundle up in it if you get like a triple X. So there's no doubt about it.
What are we talking? Medium, large?
What size are you, sir?
Size?
I'll take a large, sir.
All right, perfect. It might take, because these are coming from overseas, so it might take a week. So
they're very nice shirts, by the way.
They are. I love them.
Hey, nothing but the best. I mean, Ed, you got to look good in church. I understand.
It's a church shirt.
It's a church shirt.
All right.
You'll first see it at church.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Great show, guys. Take care.
All right, Kev. Thank you.
Well, enjoy the show you're listening to, and we'll get back to work. So thanks, Kevin. All right. Kevin Malloy joining us and taking care of a wrong there.
Yes.
We'll say.
He usually does.
We knew he would. So, yeah, I'm with you guys. I really want Central to get this. By the way, we will have Thomas Hart on the show. We might have him be here for the whole show if they win next week. We'll see.
Yes.
But we definitely will. Joliet West at Shepherd. Shepherd always a scrappy team, very generally solid team. This is a big year for Dan Tito.
Yes.
Joe. I really do. I really think so. I think that after last year, if you're a West supporter, and we talked about the support that they got last year during that run, you want to see a bounce back year,
a carryover.
Yes. Because then it really tells me, you know what, you're kind of here to stay. You got something substantial going on. So again, that's my thought on Joliet West. I think they can end up, Joe, probably having another good year.
I think so too.
I think they definitely have a shot of winning the conference.
Yes, almost definitely.
So Lamont at Libertyville, and we talked about the non-conference schedule now, Joe.
Libertyville this week, Geneva next week. Correct?
Yeah, very, very tough couple of weeks for Lamont. I know
that changes. I mean, I remember back in the days when Lamont was scheduling Little Village.
That's what we talked about on the coaches show.
And it was 63-0 at the half.
It was Little Flower one year.
Was it Little Flower?
Little Flower out of Chicago.
Boy, I remember my first few years at Providence Catholic in the early 80s. That was the conference, Little Flower.
Yeah.
Of course, as a freshman coach, we never got to play them. We always played Lincoln.
Right.
Well, even though Lincoln, we'll talk about that game next week, Providence and Leagueway Central. But that was a series for at least 3 years that I can recall. At least 3 years back in the early 80s. But yeah, they've stepped up. Brett Coy, the former head coach, had stepped up the non-conference schedule, and again, Willie is doing the same thing. This is going to be a very tough game for them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, Libertyville is supposed to be pretty good this year, so we'll see how that one shakes out. All right, we're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we will go out to the phone lines and be joined by the veteran head coach of the Maine South Hawks, Dave Inserra, will join us. We'll preview the WJOL game of the week tomorrow night, which is Maine South at Lincoln Way East. You're listening to the Week 1 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports.
This is State Farm Agent John Wright. I'm a multiple-time winner of the Reader's Choice for one of the best insurance agents in the area. When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect gift for your special someone. It feels real good to make the right insurance decision, too. The John Wright Insurance Agency is right here in Joliet to help you select the right protection at the right price. With me, State Farm Agent John Wright, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call me when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Stock up on everyday essentials at Menards and save big money. We're your one-stop shop for pet food and supplies. Blue Buffalo dog and cat food is made with real meat and natural ingredients that your pets will love. Save big on Blue Buffalo pet food at Menards, America's #1 home improvement retailer for customer satisfaction, according to J.D. Power. Visit jdpower.com for details and menards.com for deals.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Lightway's Hospice and Serious Illness Care invites you to the second annual Wonderlight, Thursday, September 19th at the Morton Arboretum in Lisle. This year's theme is an enchanted evening of goodwill to raise funds for Lightway's Hospice and Serious Illness Care. As the largest nonprofit hospice provider in Illinois, Lightway's relies on fundraising to cover approximately $2.4 million in uncompensated care they provide annually. This includes the pediatric palliative program, the community grief support, and their charity care. Tickets are $125 per person and include a gourmet plated dinner, admission to the Arboretum on event day, parking, and drink tickets. Enjoy raffle baskets, silent and live auctions, and more. If you'd like to donate a raffle basket or auction item or sponsor the event, contact Lightways at 815-740-4104 or online at lightways.org/wonderlight. Thank you to our 2024 annual sponsors, Integrated Respiratory Solutions and Silver Cross Hospital.
You are listening to Pigskin Preview on 1340 WJOL and WJOL.com.
And welcome back. It is the Week 1 edition. Yes, we are back of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL. EDGYTIM along with the coach Joe Rodagero and Evan Bredesen spinning the dials. Guys, we are going to bring in the veteran head coach of the Maine South Hawks. Joe, I'll argue one of the most successful coaching runs of a public high school and football program in the state of Illinois.
Well, you know, we often talk about that in our conversations on the phone or off the air, and they're definitely in that picture. They're in that picture. We talked about, of course, the team he's playing tomorrow night, Lincoln
Another
East.
one. Yeah.
And we talked about some of the other few public schools, but definitely Maine South is one of those teams that you have to prepare for. They're well coached, well disciplined, and just a very good team every year.
Well, and the irony being, I believe Dave, we'll bring Dave on if you got him. Dave, welcome aboard.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. We were just again, we appreciate you taking time to join us, and we were talking about the job that you've done at Maine South. And I think the timing, guys, is pretty impeccable because I believe, did Lincoln Way East first start playing varsity ball in 2001?
I believe Coach Zovnar took over the new school
Yes.
in 2001.
And your first year at South was 2001?
2001, because Coach Hopkins won the state
Yep.
in 2000
Yep.
as he retired. So
Pretty amazing coincidence there if you look at it. Your started.
parallels.
Yeah, there's no doubt. So how did this game come about? Fill us in.
Yeah, I think it's become a common thing amongst the high school teams. The teams that have had a little more success end up having to play the teams that have had a little more success. So because of some of the playoff format, it's just a challenge to try to find an opponent. So it usually comes down to the better teams having to play each other. And I was thinking about Lincoln Way because I knew they had an opening, and Coach Zovnar actually, I literally was reaching for the phone on I told myself on a Monday night I was going to call him the next morning, and he beat me to it by about 10 minutes. And I said, "You're calling to play?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I think it's a good idea." Done. I mean, we didn't even discuss, anything else. It was just, we're good to go. Let's play each other. It's always a good matchup. And excited because it's a great way to prepare in the off season with a huge first game, because you're not looking past it. You're not worried about other teams. You're strictly worried about that team right in front of you, whether it's 9 months away or 9 days. So
I think one of the best things that has ever happened with your conference are the crossovers with the mid-suburban. I just think it makes so much sense to play those games. I think the matchups have been great. You and Barrington knock heads. I think it's been great. I think it's great for both conferences, and I think you both benefited. Is that fair?
Really has benefited. And we have a little system where we, you know what? I got to change subjects for 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm dropping off my sixth grader.
That's okay.
Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
Hold on. At the fantasy draft, I need help. He's saying Christian McCaffrey. He's got the number one pick, which is never a good thing, right?
No.
That number one pick always gets hurt. So
Joe?
He's saying Christian McCaffrey. I'm saying CD Lamb.
Well,
who do we go with?
Come on, Joe.
I'd go with CD Lamb because the San Francisco offensive line is in a little disarray right now. Now it may get together. I don't know, but I know they have one offensive line.
Joe, he's on the clock. He's on the clock, Joe.
CD Lamb.
Love it. Hey, it's coming from the best, Ben. I love you.
No. Well, you'll be calling me back.
That's Coach Joe. We'll give you his cell number when it doesn't work out.
Sorry about that.
Will you stop it?
That's okay.
Are you kidding? And we've been going back and forth all week. Who are you gonna pick?
Awesome.
So,
Awesome. I'm impressed. I'm impressed you have your young guy already playing fantasy football. That's pretty impressive.
He's got a great group of friends, and they are competitors, and they love it. That's all they talk about. So, unfortunately, they don't watch enough football.
Yeah, I know.
They don't watch enough football. They watch stats.
Yeah.
Yep. How many fantasy points? So, hey, back to the mid-suburban. We have a little bit of a system where we reevaluate the teams. So teams will move up and down. We have 3 blocks, 4 teams in the upper, 4 teams in the middle, 4 teams in the smaller schools. But then we can reevaluate based on success. So it makes it really
work great.
Yep. Pretty fair cross. And then you don't have to look for those two games because 4 games would be really difficult. Yeah.
No doubt about it. And, so again, you're getting tested all the way through until you hit the conference. And then we know the conference with the traditional games with New Trier and, Glenbrook South is always tough. And Evanston, obviously bashing heads with them year in and year out. This team this year, you've got some really interesting kids this year. You got is this one of the bigger O-lines you've had in a while?
Yes, absolutely. We're known for our linemen, but it's usually 1 or 2 guys, and then smaller guys. Last year we started a 5'10", 195 and a 5'11", 200-pound guard and center with some big kids next to them. But, that's what you get a lot of times in high school. And so this year, there's some guys that understand the game, are really hard workers. And, they've played some football. So it seems to be a pretty cohesive unit as well. That's the key to the O-line, right?
Yeah.
That cohesiveness working together. So
Have you named a starter or quarterback?
Is Coach Zolvenar listening?
No, no one listens
Nobody
to us.
listens to us, our show.
We'll do fantasy football advice the rest of the hour if you want. Really.
There you go. Who you picking? Let me ask you that.
I got to get my sheet.
Yeah.
For my main South fantasy team.
Yeah, my computer's running video right now. I'm sorry.
Constantine Coins is our starter.
And the reason I ask, and you've run into this more than a few times during your career, when you have multiple really solid quarterbacks, and I mean, I was there. I watched that game where Constantine came in off the bench, started the year. Was it Brother Rice?
Yes, first game of the year.
And you watch him come off the bench, and I tell you what, he didn't look like a nervous backup quarterback after about a series or two. I thought he really settled in. And look at the year he gave you. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to not take that into account, I would imagine.
Yeah, the year he gave us was phenomenal. The first game, nobody was ready for that because the starter, Jack DeFilippis, who's at DePaul University. Jack, just a hard worker. He's like a Tim Tebow type leader. And for him to get hurt, that was such a shame. So to get that one game, Constantine was playing some receiver and stuff, and then he had to quickly flip. But after that, it was he really had a nice year for us, and just he's a great leader. He's probably a Division I baseball player.
There you
so
go.
It's not like he is competitor through and through. Center fielder, he loves the pressure, like in batting, he loves getting up and, having the pressure put on him. So at quarterback, obviously, it's the same situation.
And you have a sophomore already getting Division I offers in Jamison Purcell, your sophomore. And that's just a situation you're going to have to manage.
Just a situation. Nothing against Jamison. He could start for us in a heartbeat. He can really throw it. What he did for us this summer, because Constantine missed a decent amount with baseball. Jamison is legit. Jamison is D1 through and through. But he's a sophomore. And the senior, just what he did last year, it would be hard to go any other way based on Constantine's results from last year.
Dave, I'm going to go back to one of my original questions before we start talking about the game a little bit and some more of the players. We had a coaches show for our area last week. Edgy and I did, and a lot of the teams said they were bypassing that scrimmage, week zero scrimmage, and you played Kankakee. Did you get out of that what you wanted to?
Yes. It was. It's definitely for us going all that way. It was a lot of time on the road, because Kankakee is not close.
No, it's not.
A lot of time on the road, and it was very short. I mean, it is 24 offensive plays, 24 defensive plays broken up, by sixes.
Yep.
So obviously, if you just went one town over, one school over, or fairly close, by far, I would say absolutely. And we didn't do it last year, and I was not for the scrimmage. I can tell you now, when they said we need a week zero scrimmage, I was like, I don't think we need to do that. We get so much done during the summer. In the end, I was very, very, very happy with, the situation.
You surprised it didn't go over as well as it maybe a lot of people thought? I thought it would have went over better than it did.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't heard. I think Miles Osei at Kankakee, I think he enjoyed it. You know what? Another one that helps is the referees.
Yeah,
you're right.
You're right.
It got them in game mode, and we told them we want a coin flip. We want, just a
dress rehearsal.
Put them through the dress rehearsal, and so I think it really helped them. I know it helped both teams. We actually played them twice this summer down in Kentucky in 7-on-7, and I'll share. It got a little chippy. Got a little chippy at a couple points.
Yep.
So we were definitely talking about that going into the game, and the kids played really hard against each other, full respect, and just good football with, and the other part is when you scrimmage against yourselves, and there's bound to have an injury, right? Somebody gets nicked up or something, and it's against yourself. It's
right.
maybe a little easier to explain when it's against somebody else, I guess.
Yeah.
But both teams, I think, got out without anything. Yeah, it was very, very well controlled.
I think one of the aspects, especially of your offense, and again, just your offense, just legendary over the years, the run game and of how good it's been. And you've got Mike DeLumo in the backfield, who, again, I thought had a really good year last year. I'm sure he's set for another one. And from what I can tell, Coach, there's another Coco Sulius warning out there. Another one's coming.
There's Nico. Fotis is getting married Saturday night.
There you go.
That's tremendous. I'll be at that wedding on Saturday night. His dad actually coaches for us. He's our D-line coach. And then Nico is a junior, and there's some similarities there. Yeah. It's nice to have. It's nice to have that quick twitch, family genes. And then DeLumo at running back, he's a gamer. He's a 2-year all-conference guy already. He just knows the game. He plays really hard. He's got great leadership. So just those kids, you love coaching, and hopefully something works out for him at the college level, because he's just a gamer. Take a kid because he makes plays.
The talk, obviously, with Lincoln Way East, the big storyline is Jonas Williams. If I'm not mistaken, were you the last game he played at Bolingbrook? If I'm not mistaken, is that a playoff game?
We played them freshman year.
Okay.
That's
right. He was only a freshman. God, I can't believe.
Only a freshman.
Wow.
So then a full year, as he obviously played his sophomore year there. So yeah, that was 2 years ago.
So you're aware of him, but obviously, what are the concerns taking on Lincoln Way East tomorrow night?
He's going to Oregon for a reason. He can absolutely sling it. He's very poised. He's definitely, he's got the arm strength. He's got really good footwork. Yeah, it's just it's a tough call on what they're going to be, because in years past, they can obviously run the football. They take pride in their running game. Will they, the Tiger usually doesn't change stripes, but in this case, the Tiger's got a cheetah right next to him.
That's true.
Right? It's something like that.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the hardest thing in terms of scouting. Which way are they what kind of team are they going to be offensively? Defensively, you pretty much know what you're getting, because they can play some defense. They can, they run to the ball really well. They'll hit you. They're physical. So I think you know what you're getting defensively. It's just offensively, which way are they going to lean, especially in the tough situations.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, I appreciate you taking time. I know you're busy. You're running around, obviously, juggling fantasy drafts and everything else.
Stuff, yeah.
Drop my 8th grader, my daughter off at softball practice.
Oh no, you got one in softball. Oh, Dave.
She plays everything. So she's great. And then Ben is in 6th grade, and my son just finished up at Augustana, my older son, and he set all kinds of records at Augustana. Very proud of him there.
Awesome.
So his first football season, fall without football in I think it's 17 years. So
wow,
you just try to instill that in the seniors' minds that hey, at some point it's coming to an end.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So I wish you the best of luck tomorrow night. When you're on that yellow rocket heading south, stuck in traffic, I want you to think of one thing. Okay. I want you to think of me. All the years I went up to Maine South on a Friday.
Come up here on
okay.
Friday, and you've been here quite a bit.
Just remember that, pal.
I will think of that. How long did it take us to get to Kankakee last week?
I'll say an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oof,
yeah,
it was
I
a
know.
tough one.
Yeah, it's not easy down here either.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow
I'll
night.
think of you on that yellow school bus.
Yes.
I'll see you tomorrow night, pal. Good luck.
Good luck, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys do a great job. Thanks.
All right. Dave and Sarah joining us from Maine South. Yeah, Joe, it's all about me. All those years going up to Maine South on a Friday. Hey,
and
you know what?
West.
These days, I'll do that Maine South trip easy. Although 294 being carpet bombed doesn't help with the commute. But yeah, it's again, great to talk to him. Evan?
Yeah, I mean, just talking to him is hearing him talk is wonderful. He's been around for so long. He's had so much success. But I think one of the things that he doesn't get credit for that he should is him and Charlie Bliss. When they got there when they got there
early,
in 01,
when Charlie was there.
Yeah, when Charlie was there, he's not there anymore. But when Charlie was there, they were one of the first schools to really embrace the modern spread offense.
100%.
Yes, I totally agree.
I remember back 2003-04 when Sean Price was running that thing before he went to Central Michigan. I mean, that was the first time we were like, wait a minute, a school can really do that? Because there had been Riverside Brookfield for a year, but could you do it at a sustained level, at a high level? And they've just done it.
And they also
made it look easy.
And they also run the ball really effectively. So they don't abandon a run game at all. And again, you mentioned offensively, Charlie there for years, and now Ryan Healy takes over, another protege of Charlie, and has been in that area and coached quarterbacks for years. So again, there's no drop off offensively and play calling whatsoever. Ryan, I know, has done a great job up there the last couple of years from Maine South. So, guys, we got our hands full tomorrow night.
Yes,
there's no doubt.
I think it's good. And we looked, and Dave was saying about his offensive line, probably one of the bigger ones he's had, and it matches up pretty well against that defensive line that Lincoln East is going to have out,
which is going to be pretty good this year.
Yep.
I did want to bring up, because we mentioned him a couple times, but the quarterback for Lincoln Way East, Jonas Williams, one of the top recruits, a quarterback, 4 stars by many services. He's headed to Oregon. He's going to play in Eugene in a couple years for Dan Lanning. And he
has 2 more years of high school football.
That's
ridiculous.
That's the thing that's unbelievable.
And we talked about Dave's. Well, it sounds like Dave's backup quarterback, a sophomore, has got about 13, 14 scholarship offers right now.
That's got to be a nightmare to juggle.
Yeah.
Especially in this era. It's just got to be a nightmare to juggle.
It'll work out.
But I give him credit, though, playing the senior who was there last year.
The senior earned it.
Exactly.
There's no way you can deny that. I mean, the kid came off the bench and just didn't blink. That's exactly what you want out of a backup. So, no doubt. Either way, they're going to be really, really tough. So, all right, we're going to step aside, take a break. When we come back, phones open for the end of the show. We'll also break down the rest of the area games. You're listening to the Week 1 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk Sports.
So you're getting some roof or exterior work done, and you've covered all your bases, right? Even checked out some online reviews. You think you've got everything covered? Well, think again. Not all roofing and siding companies are insured. That's why I can't say enough great things about R.E. Duchesne Construction. They're a licensed and fully bonded exterior contractor serving Will, Grundy, and Kendall counties for over 40 years. I trust them, and I've personally used them.
Hi, I'm Rita Duchesne Hughes. If you look at your home and don't like what you see, or what you have no longer protects your family and largest asset, call us at R.E. Duchesne Construction. R.E. Duchesne has an A+ Better Business Bureau rating, so you can be confident you need only make one call. Looking to upgrade? R.E. Duchesne offers a full line of roof shingles, gutters, siding, soffit fascia, and windows. These add great value and beauty to your home. Call us at 815-722-2821 for all your home improvement needs. Financing is now available. Check us out on the web at reduchene.com.
And be sure to tell them Scott Slocum sent you.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage NAVAGE.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
Check the calendar because the Citywide Mattress annual Labor Day sale is on at Citywide Mattress in Shorewood. Save up to $900 on select Sealy mattress sets. Save up to $700 on Serta Eye Comfort when paired with an adjustable base. Save on two-sided Therapeutic Energy 2 with Queen starting at just $8.99. Serta Perfect Sleepers Queen just $4.99. See our sales flyer at citywidemattress.com to save even more through September the 10th at the Labor Day sale. Family owned for over 50 years at 700 West Jefferson Street in Shorewood and at citywidemattress.com. Citywide Mattress, we deliver a good night's sleep.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
At Curry Motors Ford of Frankfort, we're redefining convenience. Say goodbye to the hassle of car maintenance interrupting your busy schedule. Our expert team will pick up and deliver your Ford for service. Loaner cars are also available, and our mobile service van can perform routine maintenance at your home or office. Plus, with over 2,000 new and pre-owned vehicles available, we make car shopping easy. Right now, get 0% APR financing on select new Ford models. Shop 24/7 at curryford.com today.
See dealer for details.
Pigskin Preview with Edgy and Rod on 1340 WJOL, WJOL.com, and on Alexa.
All right, that's kind of a keeper. It's got a little upbeat to it. That'll work. Hey, Joel, at least your name's in this one.
Yeah, well, I'm just a cog in the machine.
Cog was over at Providence for years, but that's okay. Welcome back. It is a week 1 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. EDGYTIM along with the coach Joe Rodriguero and Evan Bredesen. You missed the broadcast. Well, you missed another Hall of Fame broadcast, I'm sure. You can always go back and watch it. As soon as this show's over, it's available for archive. Edgy channel on YouTube. Also, EDGYTIM on the Facebook, Joe. You can go back and watch the show. You might not hear audio for the first few minutes, but it'll come back on and you'll hear everything and see everything. So we appreciate it. And again, you can go back and watch it and find all my podcasts and all the other things I do during the week on one spot. So there you go. Guys, let's go. We'll break down the rest of the area games. Joe, the Minooka on the road at Rock Island. Last year, Minooka really kind of manhandled Rock Island. Very interested to see how much different or better the Rocks are this year.
Well, they've got to be better than last year for sure.
I think one of the telltales for me last year, and again, I went and saw Quincy, got an idea of them, what they had to offer. Then I saw the playoffs and what happened, and I think Mount Carmel's still scoring points at Quincy. That was just a absolute shocking blowout. So I just don't know how good the Western Big Six is, honestly, Joe.
Well, they were not very good at all. And the sophomore team was not that good either. So Minooka's going to go and roll again tomorrow night.
So we'll see. Lincoln Way Central, again, we talked about Dave Woodburn's team and the great job that him and his staff did. On the road at St. Charles East, I know St. Charles East has struggled the last several years. I know they have a sophomore quarterback, very good. His name is J.T. Padron. 6'3", 6'4", about 200 pounds. I did an article today for the Daily Herald. By the way, I'm doing stuff for the Daily Herald and syndicated to like about 40 papers now. So it goes to 40 papers. I get paid by one, but it's okay. It's wonderful to be read everywhere and it's great. But I mentioned about just the influx, Joe, of young quarterbacks in the 26 and the 27 class. It's amazing. And JT's one of those names to watch. So East might be able to sling the ball a little bit. We'll see tomorrow night. Lincoln Way West at Eisenhower, Joe.
I know Eisenhower was in the playoffs last year and
got a new coach. Seamus Murphy left. He took an admin position at Sandburg. So I don't know the impact. There's still some good. Andre Lovett, who's committed to Illinois, is still there. A couple other decent players as well for Eisenhower. I just think Lincoln Way West is going to be good this year.
I agree. Just too much for Eisenhower. I'm picking the Warriors also.
Another team that, Joe, I think we're going to wind up talking a lot about this coming season. Providence on the road at Wheaton North. You always respect Wheaton North. Joel Wardynski does a terrific job with that program. They're always tough. They play hard. I think Providence gets the win, but always a good opening game.
Right. Yeah, we North traditionally is pretty good, but last week talking to Tyler, and he's got a
This is going to be a
of people
good
back.
team.
A ton, not just a few, not a ton.
If the College of Coaches can, okay, good. It took you a little while to get it, Joe, but I'm glad you got it.
Yeah.
But seriously, if half of that young talent does what I think it can do, this could be a really good year for Providence.
They're going to be very good.
A lot of young talent there.
Yep.
Romeoville hosting Oak Lawn. Romeoville, another team people are kind of talking about a little bit.
A lot of guys back from last year, and Coach was very excited about this. I'm picking them to win tomorrow night.
We'll save the next game for last. Plainfield North, we talked earlier to Anthony Imbordino. On the road, taking on our friend George Chart and Lockport Joe. I don't know what to expect out of the Porters. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah, this is a tough first game. It was close last year. I think they kicked a field goal in the fourth quarter to win there, but this is going to be a tough one. Lockport's tough at home, though. They are very tough at home.
Plainfield South, and another coach we need to get a hold of is Coach Brosman to have him on the show. On the road at Yorkville. And Joe, we've talked about Yorkville. Part of that's Southwest Prairie. Yep. They're a program that continues to do big things, and that's a tough first game.
It is, and Yorkville is, as Coach Imbordino mentioned, they play a lot of 8A teams, and they drop down to 7A, and they're very good. Fortunately, I'm going to pick them tomorrow night.
2 more games left. Waukegan on the road at Plainfield Central. Oh, that's a 2+ hour bus ride tomorrow from Waukegan to Plainfield. No doubt about it. I think Robbie Kerr gets the first win.
Yes, I definitely agree. Sound very excited. They've got some players coming back too. He lost a couple, but again, he's very excited about
Evan wants you to chime in on this one for sure. And then finally, let's talk about Maine South at Lincoln Way East. Joe, start with you.
2 traditional powers. And again, both teams excellently coached. Players are excellent. I think the X factor here is Jonas Williams. I'm just going to, and again, it's tough beating Lincoln Way East at East, although I believe Maine South might have been one of the last teams to beat them at Lincoln Way East. But I think the X factor is going to be the quarterback tomorrow night. I'm picking East.
Evan?
My idea ties in similarly to Joe's. He said Jonas Williams. For me, it's can Maine South keep Jonas Williams off the field? And that means running the football. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. Can Maine South run against Lincoln Way East? If they can, I think they're going to have success, and the ability to keep Williams off the field will be helpful. If they can't, it could be a long night.
Well, again, what we haven't talked about is this is kind of a young Lincoln Way East defense. And this is an offense you do not want to play for a first game with a young defense.
But also Maine South is going to be, I don't know if they have seniors, but they've only really have 3 returning back, even though they're, the lineman, I can't remember his name right off the bat. He's pretty good. But again, I don't know how young they are as far as year is concerned, but they have to replace a lot of people on defense.
But I'm talking about East as well.
Oh, no.
If you're going to put up points against East, it could be this team in week 1.
And with the youth on the defense, I have this feeling in my stomach. Dave's got a couple cards up his sleeve.
Yeah.
They've got a couple gadget plays or trick plays, and they might even bring it out early just to test that youth and see if it's ready.
Sure. Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. I don't think there's any doubt.
A chess match, man, between 2 coaches.
Yes.
What I think is going to help, and what I'm interested to see is how well teams do that had a scrimmage game.
That's
week 0. How big of a factor is that?
I see a noticeable impact.
Do they get out of the gates quicker? Maybe less turnovers, a little less rust than you usually would see?
I'm surprised how enthusiastic Dave was about it, because as you heard, they didn't do it last year.
Yeah.
Then they had the long bus ride this year, and then there are strict rules for it. I was getting ready for him to say, it was all right. He seemed very happy with the fact that they had participated in it, which to hear a coach with that much experience see that much of a difference just in part due to one scrimmage is an interesting little thing to pay attention to in the future.
Joe?
And the other thing, too, is Lincoln Way East did not do it. And Rob said, we rather scrimmage against ourselves. there's not going to be too many quarterbacks that Lincoln Way East defense is going to see other than their own quarterback. And
Right.
I think
And Rob mentioned that.
that's going to help them tremendously.
Yeah, it's it'll be a good one. I don't think there's any doubt. Saturday, I'm going to go check out Morgan Park at Marist. Morgan Park should have a really good team this year. Marist kind of a little bit of a down year. Coach, and again, did a great job at York. Interested to see if Marist is able to turn around that quick, and he possibly could be that coach to get them turned around quickly.
He did it at York fairly quick.
Yes, and then Saturday night, I plan to be at Illinois State to watch Loyola and East St. Louis.
That's phenomenal.
And again, East St. Louis did a scrimmage game against Sacred Heart, so
that's right.
They are feeling pretty good, and I don't think Loyola did. Well, Loyola has 3 teams they can scrimmage against and
That's true.
not leave the building. So,
that's going to be interesting too. Last year, I was down there with you with Mount Carmel and East St. Louis, and
you, me, and the state trooper pulled me over on the way home.
Yeah, well, we wanted to buy him some popcorn.
We did,
but Mount Carmel is a physical team, but in my eyes, not as physical as Loyola. That's just me.
Yeah, I agree.
And is East St. Louis going to be able to handle that physicality?
Or can East St. Louis outrun that physicality?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's a given. They're going to try anyway, But there was that game last year. There was a lot of speed on that field for both teams.
Yeah, it should be fun to watch. I mean, we can go through the classes. We got a few minutes here before we have to wrap up. 8A favorite, 7A favorite. Any clubhouse thoughts going in? I mean, I think Loyola is a team to beat still in 8A.
Until somebody beats them, I agree.
I mean, that's kind of the way you have to feel about it.
It could very well be East. East could
be.
finally
Absolutely.
maybe get them.
East
And
has been
again,
there the last 2 years.
Maine South, in my eyes, will be there too. Let's see who else in
Mount
8A.
Carmel is in 8A this year.
No, 7.
They're
One
not,
more.
They're not one more year.
One more. I think even as young as they are, and the last time we checked, they were losing against not the Nun School, the Hun School.
21-14, by the way. In the
Okay,
second
so
quarter.
it's back and forth.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Apparently, Hun is doing major damage through the air.
Okay, so there you go. But you know what? If you're Mount Carmel, that's a good game for you.
Yes.
You're going to find out who you are right away, and they'll be able to go back and do some tweaking. But 7A. Downers North is going to be pretty good again after their run last year. I don't know if they'll be able to get all the way to the state title, but we'll see. Mount Carmel, again, team you don't want to play week 9 on out. You'd rather play them week 1, week 2. You don't want to play them as the season goes on because they graduate a lot of talent, but they have just as much talent, younger talent, waiting to move up. So, 6A, I guess East St. Louis and Cary Grove because that's kind of how it's gone the last couple of years.
I mean, that's the way it feels.
I mean, we'll see.
Because Cary Grove always has that fullback.
Always. The same kid's back. He's back for 2 more years.
Oh wow! But again, that's a machine, much like Joliet Catholic machine is.
Yeah, 5A. I mean, Prairie Ridge drops down to 5A again this year, so they can be a challenge in 5A. And it just depends who falls where. Does Providence go 5A? Do they go 6A? Do they go?
They're going to be a tough out, though. I think no matter what
I agree.
class they're in, they're going to be tough.
I agree. And again, we talked about strength of schedule. I mean, there's no guarantees. I mean, JC will get the 5 wins. Providence has got to get the 5 wins. One of those two are gonna have to fight their way to get in. I have a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have to fight their way. Not to say that they're not good teams. They are, but man, just some of these crossover games are rough.
And we never got a chance to talk about. We will next week. The Southwest Valley Conference.
Oh my Lord!
Those 3 divisions.
I wrote a whole column on it. Go find it. Daily Herald.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk.
It'll
about
be
that
good.
next week. Yeah,
It'll be good. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you, everyone, for hanging in there. I know we had a little rough start, but, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Exactly.
And we should be good to go now. Evan and I wrote notes and draw little diagrams of where everything goes and plugs in, so we'll be all good. But, again, thanks to Coach Joe and Evan Bredesen. I'm EDGYTIM. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. And by all means, go watch a high school football game and have some fun, will you? It's time to go out and have some fun. You have listened to the Week 1 edition of Pigskin Preview here on 1340 WJOL, Will County's News, Talk, Sports. Good night, everyone.
From the Abri Credit